A relationship established by God doesn't need anyone to, to manipulate it into existence. A relationship established by God does not need interventions from third parties to set it up. A relationship established by God does not need the ancestors to define it. A relationship established by God doesn't need too much interference, doesn't need interference from third parties. A relationship is established by God, just like God put Adam and Eve together. God, the people involved in this relationship will know when it is from God, because there will be something different about it. A relationship established by God does not need anybody to defend it, because God will defend it himself. A relationship established by God is one of the most important foundations in the world today. And that foundation, when it's established by God, can come, no man can break it apart, provided that both parties are so invested in the vision that God has provided for them, and they are obedient to the guidance and the instructions that God gives. A relationship established by God will suffer warfare, severe warfare, because it's one of the important pillars that builds community in this world. So a relationship established by God is the reflection of God's love for its people. So be careful not to involve yourself in relationships, especially when you are not ordained by God to intervene. Don't do it. Because when you do intervene, you're going against God. And when you go against God, you're going against the creator of the universe, your creator. What are the odds, right? So think about that when you are waiting for a partner. Think about that, because if you want to be in a relationship that is being orchestrated by God, you need to prepare yourself for that relationship. You are not supposed to be on sites looking for visual representations of what you think God has for you. You are supposed to be committing to the preparation for that relationship. And that preparation includes renewing your mind, as the word of God says in Romans 12, verse 2. That preparation talks about transformation for that role. It's like when you are going to be assigned as the CEO of the most important business in God's business, you need to have the necessary financial acumen. You need to have the necessary education. You need to have the necessary communication skills. You need to have empathy. You need to have social skills. You need to have negotiation skills. You need to know how to build trust. You need to know important skills that you also train for in the day-to-day in your corporate world. But more so, it needs to come from the curriculum of God. It needs to come from the competencies that God has defined that we require. So how are you preparing for your godly marriage? How are you preparing for such